What's going on, FA Nation? Jon Impemba here with James Grande. Welcome to the Fantasy Alarm MLB DFS podcast and live stream recording here for Thursday's 4-game main slate, James. 2 games already postponed due to weather here. First postponements, second postponements. We had Cincinnati, Philadelphia canceled on Wednesday as well. Miami, New York, and Cincinnati, Philadelphia canceled again here for Thursday. So just 4 games on the slate: Boston, Detroit, Toronto, Kansas City, San Francisco, Chicago, Washington, Colorado. First core slate of the year as well, James, right?
First core slate of the year. So, congrats to anyone who celebrates. It's going to be an interesting little slate, John. 4-gamer with cores. It's always, do you or do you not fade cores? Well, it's going to smack us right in the face on a 4-game slate.
Right.
Going to be very hard to fade. But, we'll do our best to navigate through these waters. 10.5 total in that game seems lower than usual.
Especially when Josiah Gray is on the mound, Mr. Home Run himself.
He is as good as he can look. He just can't stay away from the home
more
run ball.
home runs allowed to begin the year, just picking up right where he left off.
It's he is a talented dude. He just gives up a lot of home runs. Yep. But 10.5 runs is pretty low, I would say, for cores, especially with how runs have been scored so far this year across Major League Baseball. Toronto, Kansas City is a 9. Boston, Detroit is 8.5 or 8, depending on where you're looking. And then San Fran, Chicago, also 8. I just want to go back to the 10.5. Do you think, just initial, upon looking, doesn't it feel like the over is the bet, just considering how offense has reigned supreme this year? And with pitchers just not being used to the clock and the bases being bigger, no shift, everything just kind of points to offense. And I know neither of these teams are great, but neither are the pitchers in this game.
Right. Kyle Freeland, we know, terrible at home. Just terrible in Colorado. And then Josiah Gray gives up home runs in every ballpark. Yep. Now he's going to Coors. So, yep. Yeah, I'm with you there. It feels like an over would make sense. We have Boston, Detroit. Detroit won a couple games against Houston. Boston just got swept at home 3 games against the Pirates. So who the heck knows what's going on with that? Chris Sale got lit in his first start there. 3 innings, 7 earned runs out of 6 strikeouts. You would think maybe better success against Detroit.
And he did get lit the drug kind or alcohol kind. He got lit up.
Got lit up, yeah. I mean, listen, the Baltimore Orioles were putting a lot of runs on a lot of teams. Yes. Maybe that was just the case here, but he's on the road here against Detroit. Spencer Turnbull, he's pitching here. He also got lit up in his debut, 7 earned runs as well, in 2 1/3 against Tampa Bay. So a lot of pitching to potentially target. You got Jordan Lyles at home against Toronto. Gaussman's your top price pitcher here for going up against Kansas City. And then there in the mid-tier, you got Lance Lynn, Alex Wood going up against each other, San Francisco, Chicago.
Yeah, it's definitely just a slate full of interesting arms. John, if you were to guess Lance Lynn's age, what would you say?
35.
Yeah, so he's almost 36. I had no idea he was 36.
How old did you think he was?
33? But just all those years in St. Louis, just kind of...
He pitched in St. Louis for a while.
I know, he's just been so, underrated for so long, it feels like.
He almost won a Cy Young a couple years ago, didn't
he? He did. Yeah, he did. He was awesome. And last year, he, much like Lucas Giolito, wasn't great. Had some batted ball, unlucky situations there. But yeah, if we're diving into, do you want to just dive in? We're diving into pitching, I assume, right?
Yeah. Listen, it's 4 games, and we're gonna go quick. It's and realistically, we're probably not touching anybody below Sale. So, and Sale's it's a maybe.
A risky. You have to almost consider him. One, he's the second biggest favorite on the board, minus 160.
Yeah.
Some places 145.
Boston has always been a favorite they've
True.
lost more games than they won this season, but most games their implied run total's high, they're favorites to win.
Well, if we don't pick Sale, we really only are using 5 other guys because we're not using Josiah Gray in Colorado. At least
that's what I'm saying.
I'm not using Kyle Freeland.
90% roster Kevin Gausman tomorrow.
Yep, for sure.
And then
probably Lance Lynn or Chris Sale.
It's probably Lance Lynn.
Yep.
Right?
Yeah, San Francisco leads the league in strikeout rate. Well, second now with Miami. So I would say Lance Lynn is like in 90% of lineups, it's Gausman, Lynn, and then the other 10 is Gausman, Sale.
Yeah.
Like that's like.
Well, would you pitch Alex Wood at all here or no? No Eloy Jimenez now. All of a sudden, you guys back on the IL.
Shocker. No, I shouldn't say that. I'm not like I'm not an injury hater like that.
No, of course not. But he is a guy that is just, him and Eloy Jimenez or Luis Robert just find themselves on the IL.
I mean, I guess like, Wood hasn't made an appearance this year, but he pitched deep into his final spring training game. He threw 5 innings. He didn't have a great season last year. If I remember correctly,
no,
he was like in and out of their rotation after like being super good the year prior.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, 5.10 ERA. Looks like there was a little bit of unluck though, John. 341 xFIP and a 5.10 ERA. Feels a little bit unlucky. 345 Sierra as well. Like 26% hard hit rate, 48% ground ball rate. Everything kind of seems like Alex Wood was just a little bit unlucky there.
Right.
So maybe that's not a bad call. An Eloy Jimenez less White Sox lineup who, Oscar Colas hasn't played against lefties really.
Yeah, they don't have Jose Abreu there anymore.
I mean, it's just kind of a shell of themselves. Yeah, I wouldn't hate that.
So I think it's a coin flip. I think everybody's playing Gausman, and then it's probably Lynn, and then it's a 50-50 Sale Wood split.
Who are like essentially look the exact same when they're pitching. They're both like herky-jerky lefties with beards.
Yeah. So that is your pitching breakdown, everybody.
Yep.
I do not see a reason to throw anybody else. Unless Toronto sits like multiple starters tomorrow.
Yep. Agreed.
That would be the only other potential there. Vladdy, Bichette, they all take a seat, and maybe Jordan Lyles at home can navigate his way. All right, catcher position here. Again, top price guys here, Salvi and Melendez, but if we're pitching Gausman, we're probably not going there. Eric Haas versus Sale, 5 years ago, that was a no chance. Maybe now, right? Like
5 years ago.
Well, Sale hasn't pitched in 3.
That's a fair point.
Fell off his bike last year, missed the whole year, had Tommy John surgery, so like maybe Eric Haas here against Chris Sale, as crazy as it may sound, and then of course you're going to Coors, right? Like whoever the catcher in Coors is, Kybert versus Freeland at 3,100, lock him in,
Yep. I mean, Eric Haas was good against lefties to your point last year.
Oh yeah, 330. That's what he is. He's a lefty masher. So
yeah, 281 average, 335 WOBA, hit 4 bombs against Southpaws. So I mean, that's a very good pivot off of the chalk in Colorado.
We might get we might get Sebi here in the lineup at $2,500.
Yeah, we could. I actually like Grandal too, but whatever White Sox catcher is in the lineup, and then the Blue Jays catchers like Jordan Lyles for what he is, and he was good in Baltimore last year. The road splits were insane with Jordan Lyles. Every home run, I think, except maybe the exception of one, or maybe that changed at the end of the year, he allowed all of his home runs on the road, and that's just simply because we found out that Baltimore's park was just not viable for like. So he allowed 26 home runs last year, John. 20 of them were on the road. So like 359 WOBA. I'm not saying Kansas City is like the worst pitcher's park, but like it's not Baltimore anymore. So I really like Alejandro Kirk and Danny Jansen. all he did last year was hit home runs, 15 home runs in less than 100 games. So I think there's a lot of pairings of catchers I would go. Obviously, the Rockies Nationals game is the chalk, but I think there are plenty of other pivots at this point.
Yep. First base position here, you got Cron again against Josiah Gray. We just talked about it. Power.
Yeah, it feels like a good one, huh?
It's a really good one there for him. He's 5,800. Coors Field bumps, full effect.
Good. Good.
Yeah, as it should be. I agree with you. Jock Peterson gets a lefty-righty matchup against Lance Lynn at $4,500. Then again, you get a lot of guys that are already kind of out because of the weather delay. So, Justin Turner, Andrew Vaughn, Pasquantino, anybody here interest you, I guess? Like, I don't know. Cassis, if he's in the lineup, even though, he had a double tonight, again, slowly maybe working his way out of some slumps early in the year, but $2,600 for him.
Yeah, man, I love Cron and Vladdy up top, obviously. I'm okay getting to Justin Turner. I think this is, like, he's not washed. There's just not a lot of power left in Justin Turner's bat. He's going to be a singles, doubles hitter. I think that's just what one extra base hit. He has 7 hits. 1 of them have gone for extra bases. Can Spencer Turnbull be the guy to break him out of that? Maybe. But 4,200, like, I'd rather just take a shot on Cassis, right?
Sure. Would you go Cassis or Moustakas, lefty versus Gray in Coors?
Oof. I don't know if Moose is, like, alive.
He's alive. He had a hit 2 games ago.
I know that he is, like,
breathing
there. He is like an active MLB player for now.
Yeah.
I'm just unsure how long that's going to last.
367 with 2 bombs are in the Cactus League. That's what it says.
Okay, that's all that matters. I'd probably still lean Cassis, but I understand your point.
Oh, here's another one for you. Michael Chavis versus a lefty in Coors as well against Freeland, right?
Yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah, for $2,300, we're getting gross, but we're here.
No, I mean, but look, there's actually, I'm not gonna lie, there's like pretty okay value. Like Andrew Vaughn is probably the one guy in the mid tier that I have any interest in. Like that's just.
Yep.
But you mentioned Cassis, you mentioned Moose. I mean, Brandon Belt is $2,400. He's been off to a terrible start. Brandon Belt has been notoriously robbed by San Francisco's ballpark. It's like well documented. You can go there. You mentioned Michael Chavis. Spencer Torkelson is like kind of turned it up recently. Homered yesterday. Homered on Tuesday.
One of the top prospects last year, right? He just, it's a little slump getting out of there.
And if Sale is washed or at all rusty, which, both are, I think, possible at this point. Like
7 runs allowed, 6 strikeouts. He either struck you out or he gave up a run. So
like we don't know what to make of Chris Sale, really. Torkelson 2,100. Like if you're interested in stacking against Sale, by all means. Like Torkelson just hit a home run 2 games ago, and we know that there's a lot of power. So I actually think there's some pretty good first base value.
Yeah, that's fine by me. All right, second base position here. Top available player is Ryan McMahon, your lefty against Josiah Gray.
Yeah, that's super chalk.
That is just the mega play.
Yeah, that's mega chalk.
Elvis Andrus, dude, remember last year the run we had with Elvis Andrus?
End of season Elvis Andrus was
absolutely
magical.
Unbelievably epic run for Elvis Andrus there to end that season. Starting this year 3 for 23, not quite the same, but a little get the lefty righty spot for him. Merrifield's at $3,100 there. Another guy that we historically played in certain matchups last year at times. You have Scope against a lefty here against Sale. Like, if Sale sucks, Jonathan Scope's a guy that has hit lefties during his career. So there's certainly some guys down there. Then of course Chavis can play second base eligible as well. So.
And we're gonna get 2K Henzer Alberto in against a lefty too, John. That was our 3 seasons ago. That was our money.
Yes.
That was our money second base punt.
Yeah, I admittedly though you can't see what I'm looking at necessarily. I thought the L Garcia was Laurie for a second there, but it's not Luis Garcia.
Yeah, Luis Garcia.
We used to play Laurie Garcia against lefties pretty often there
true.
as well. So,
sure.
All right, third base. Raffy, we'll see if Raffy gets a day off here. He hasn't had one yet. Based on players, they need their days off after.
Maybe he wants
games.
162 though.
Maybe. I forget which side is Yone's power side. So, but he's off to a great start.
There was no power side last year.
Yeah.
None. 0. He did have a 333 WOBA against lefties last year. So.
Okay. I mean, the guy's already got 2 bombs on the year. He's got 4 doubles. I mean,
talk about like a
as
fall
hot
from
as
grace.
hot can be right now for White Sox.
Yeah, I'm fully on board. I just cannot believe how bad he was last year after and obviously prospects don't pan out in baseball all the time more than any other sport.
He has no idea where the strike zone is.
Yeah, it's
he just swings, and if his bat makes contact, Jesus, take the wheel.
Yeah, 4,800.
He's Javier Baez with less plate discipline.
I'm okay getting the Moncada for sure.
Okay. Anybody else down here then? Oh,
yeah,
Candelario. Yep, 3,100 for sure.
And Yuli Harris Montero, both gonna be in cores at free price tag.
More people probably play Candelario than Montero, you think, or no?
I don't know.
Okay.
Montero hits like 5th. Candelario hits like 3rd. They're both like terrible for like on any other team they're not starting, but on the teams that they're playing for, like that's a table that discussion for, and then we'll mention in Discord like same price, same position, play the probably less popular guy.
Sure.
In tournaments.
Shortstops, Tim Anderson gets the southpaw, and Alex Wood.
5,700. Holy cow.
Yeah. Well, 4-game slate, so.
No, I know. That's just kind of.
No, I agree. I agree. Bichette's 52, Bobby Witt's 5K. Okay. Javi Baez, like I mentioned, guy hits lefties for a living. Has at least. Last year he sucked. This year he's got 1 hit and 2 hits and 25 at bat, 21 at bat. So
yeah,
not off to his best self here. I don't know, man. Is there anybody even? Are you forced to spend up at shortstop? Because
I don't hate any of the top guys. I don't love the Anderson price. If you want to play Witt against Gaussman, you want to play Royals, like you're not playing Gaussman because you're being contrarian in like a large field tournament. Sure, right? Like I would only advise that in large field tournaments because like in cash you're playing Kevin Gaussman, and in single entries you're playing Kevin Gaussman, and like 3 max you're playing Kevin Gaussman, but like 20 or 150 max, sure, like Bobby Witt's fine. Baez, insert the same thing we've said about all Detroit guys thus far. And then no.
I said there's really nothing here.
I'm looking for something. Like Nicky Lopez, 2,400. He has stolen base appeal. Abrams, lefty. I know Freeland wasn't great against lefties last year. Becraw had 1 big game against the Yankees, and that's literally the only thing he's done this year. So if you want to play that, like game theory, like, oh, he has upside. Kike, too. Another guy who could just hit a home run just out of the blue.
Yeah, I might just be playing Tim Anderson and just calling it a day.
Or Bichette to save 500. It's probably one of those. It's probably one of those 2 guys.
Outfielder, Lewis Robbins, your top price guy there. George Springer. Chris Bryant against Josiah Gray at 51. Yoshida's up to 49 here. Duvall had a day off today, so Duvall probably back in the lineup against Detroit. He's at Turnbull. He's at $4,300.
I cannot believe how good he's been.
Yeah.
Like I can, because I was drafting him everywhere, and like I figured he would get plenty of.
Yeah. Well, his ADP this season was stupid. It didn't.
Yeah, it was stupid.
It didn't make any sense.
Especially because he was going to play 6 out of 7 days a week for the Red Sox. Oh.
Yeah, 100%. So yeah, I think again, all those guys are in play. Meneses, I know he's off to a slow start, but he's got the lefty in Coors matchup. Charlie Blackmon, old man still swinging a bat. 4,300 lefty versus Josiah Gray. Varsho, lefty versus righty in Lyles at $3,900 seems pretty strong.
Varsho home run incoming against Jordan Lyles.
Yeah, probably. Jerkson, He's got a switch hitter, right? Yep. Switch hitter against Gray.
Yep. He's been bad. I don't know if it's anything to do with the visa issues that he went through, but
Lane Thomas is gonna lead off, $3,300.
Yeah, he should be popular. He's been good this year, coming off a game where he's had a stolen base. He should be pretty popular there.
Matt Vierling may lead off for Detroit.
He will, yeah. He's been very good, and he hit lefties last year, so this is no surprise really. I like that. I like that call. Alex Call. Ha ha ha.
Yeah.
Nailed it. 2,500. I don't
know. Yeah, that's probably it, right?
I mean, like
maybe Kevin Biggio makes a lineup tomorrow.
I wouldn't, not even in a fire, but I'd play that guy. I feel like no.
He's 2 for 3. There's only one start this year.
No, he's fine, but he's not fine. He's
Victor Robles. He's been okay.
Yep, and I'm surprised he has no stolen bases too. So that's kind of surprising.
$2,200, righty versus lefty. That was a guy that everybody thought was going to come up and be something, and he just never was.
Yeah, he's back-to-back multi-hit games. I mean, look, surprising to see this game so cheap. Honestly, like after seeing CJ Cron 58, I was expecting everyone.
Everybody in Washington is cheap.
Everyone in Washington is cheap. That's true.
All right, let's build our lineup. I guess we're plugging McMahon in, right? That was a no-brainer.
Yeah, McMahon was and spending up at short, so probably Bichette or Anderson, one of the two.
We'll see. We'll go with the cheaper one for now.
Yeah, if we have the cash.
Plugging Gossman in, and then you want Lynn, Wood, or Sale.
I think if I were to rank who I think has the best opportunity to win, I would probably say Lynn, Sale, Wood in that order.
Mm-hmm.
Because Detroit's terrible. And you mentioned the strikeouts. I mean,
it's super doable. If I just plugged in Kybert with Lynn, it's 4K a play, first base, third base, and outfield. And we had like numerous 2K, like Chavis and guys like
the whole, like you just said, the Washington.
Candelario is 3,100.
Lane Thomas 33. Gonna lead off.
Yeah. So I mean, like, there's multiple ways to make all that that work there. So I plug in Candelario and Lane Thomas, and it gives me 45 a play. Might as well just see if we can fit Cron.
I was gonna say flurries.
Cron works. We have 4K and outfielder for 2 outfielders.
4K and outfielder for 2 outfielders.
Yeah, go Varsho for 1.
Varsho and
we're gonna be eating cash, but I guess we could adjust if we needed to. But like Profar, Merrifield.
I don't hate the Profar. This could be the breakout here against Josiah.
Gives $400 left over. If we go with there, we got a 2-man Toronto stack. We got 3 Washington, 3 Colorado.
Works.
Kevin Gossman, Lance Lynn, Kybert Ruiz, CJ Cron, Ryan McMahon, Jaime Candelario, Bo Bichette, Lane Thomas, Dalton Varsho, Jerkson, Profar is the lineup with $400 remaining. James Grande will be on your 4-game playbook there for this slate that locks at 1:10 p.m. Eastern. Give me your home run call before we call it a night here, James.
I kind of forgot that we do that again.
Tonight is why we're doing it now.
I'm going to go with, and this is we did this last year, no course as well.
Yeah, we generally avoided course, which means we have 2 games to pick from.
3. You have 3 games. 3 games to pick from. I want to just say someone against. I'll go Dalton Varsho.
Dalton Varsho. Okay, I will go. I'll go Adam Duvall.
Hell yeah.
Adam Duvall. That's the one. So that is it. The podcast, everybody. Like and subscribe if you can. Help us out immensely. We appreciate it. On the YouTube video, same thing within you're listening to on iTunes, Google Play, Spotify, you name it. Also, if you haven't noticed, again, we still have the All-Pro package going on. 50% off the first 6 months. That means you're going to have 50% off your All-Pro access through the first month of the NFL season. Can't beat that. $19.98 a month for the first 6 months. All DFS content. Masters today, as you're listening to this, UFC 287, right, James? This weekend here, Monster.
Yep.
Pay-per-view there. Adesanya Pereira 2. For the was it
or 4
whichever way you want. Kickboxing, UFC, 4 matchups. And obviously NASCAR continues to run along with everything else. NBA throughout the playoffs, NHL throughout the playoffs. We got it covered for you all for just $19.98 a month. It's pretty cheap, so take advantage of that. Promo code MLB50. You can click the link in the description of the YouTube video, or just go to fantasyalarm.com, click on the pricing tab, and take advantage of it there. For now, Grande and I will be back on Friday. Good luck. We'll talk to you all later.